Newman. Number 3, Seba Iriaga. Number 25, Ryan Rochendal. Number 20, Greg Cochran. Number 22, Juan Nino. Number 30, Zach Cameron. Number 26, Max Rodriguez. Number 16, Rafa Castillo. Number 7, Billy Ford. Number 14, AJ Akekawa. Head coach, Darren Powell. Now, the starting 11 for your Southern team. Number 1, Tyler. Number 23, Henry. Number 53, Sam. Number 73, Riley. Number 5, Nuhu. Number 88, Ray. Number 31, Lorenzo. Number 32, Zach. Number 37, Shannon. Number 38, Irvin. Number 71, David. All led by head coach, Ezra. Oh yeah!
Defensively tonight is Stadium. Kickoff moments away. Don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. Referee, our head referee, Evan Urasovich, assisted by Jeffrey Hoskins, Christian Clerk, and fourth official, Jeff Arthurholt. Please welcome our friend, Melissa Briscoe, for today's boycott.
Castillo getting that start in that 10 spot. Take a note, though, a couple of players here. We talked about 8 changes from that game they had in Vancouver. 2 of these guys are making their debuts tonight, and that is Zach Harivo on loan from the New England Revolution right there in the midfield, and Juan Nino outside on the right. Those guys getting a chance to perform in the game. And, of course, Ryan Rushandel, he is paired with Seba Ibiaga, who is the big veteran man in the center back area there. Rushandel this is his first start for the entire season. He's only played just a couple of minutes in one substitute game early on in early April.
On the other side of things for S2, coming out in the 4-2-3-1 and a more familiar look, Aaron.
Ray Sari, we talked about him. There he is in the middle. He's paired with Lorenzo Ramos, his Narbonne's on the bench tonight. Irvin Parra back up top. Zach Mathers slotting inside, and the young man Shannon Hopiau getting another start out on the right. Henry Wingo from the first team is at right back as Nana Sinkum takes a seat on the bench for this evening. And, of course, Riley Grant paired again with Sam Rogers. Tyler Miller, the captain, in the back there, and Nuhu Tolo on the left-hand side.
Your officials in charge of tonight's match, Edvin Jurasevich is the center. David Ganter, one of the officials. Your fourth referee is Victor Rivas, and the man manning the VAR is Baldemaro Toledo, who, member of Pro, used to reffing MLS games, and he'll be chipping in here tonight to keep Edvin Jurasevich up to date on all the latest happenings.
Exciting thing tonight here for USL to have this going on. We'll see how it works. Again, we talked about it. They haven't had any big calls yet to do, but maybe 1 or 2 here tonight. We'll
Aaron, I was joking with you before the match. I was saying this might be the first time in my life that I actually hope that something controversial happens, so we can break in this this new VAR technology and see how it purrs. S2 in their traditional green uniforms will take the opening kickoff. That's Irvin Parra over the ball. Shannon Hopiau to his right. David Olson out on the left.
Well, going back to their game on Saturday on the 22nd, so important, S2 able to keep their focus for the entire 45 minutes. And start brightly just about every game, it seems, and then there's just a little bit of a lapse, and they let the other team back in. We'll see how it plays out this evening. San Antonio
Edwin Jurasevich blows the whistle, and we are underway here. 90 minutes of action to go from Starfire Stadium.
Yeah, I was just going to say San Antonio just riding confidence right now. No losses yet. Just that one draw against Colorado Springs.
The lone unbeaten team in the Western Conference as Henry Wingo breaks into space and draws an early foul. And we talk about how much those fullbacks like to attack for the Sounders. Organizationally, Henry Wingo's speed enables him to do that.
Yeah, great job by Henry Wingo to take the space right away.
Ball over to Nuhu Tolo.
Sorry, Andrew.
It's the VAR, Aaron. It has us out of sorts. Sam Rogers. Rogers turns the ball over. That time to Harivo. Harivo comes forward, and now we'll drop it back to Greg Cochran. Cochran, a stalwart for the San Antonio FC, made 30 appearances last there, over 2,600 minutes played. And if San Antonio is on the pitch, you can expect Cochran to be there as well. That was Billy Forbes, who had the ball knocked away from him into touch. San Antonio will take a throw in. Go up top looking for AJ Ajakwa. And it's out for an S2 throw right next to the corner flag. Tolo will be the man to take it. Long throw from Tolo, going to fall down in the space. Para collects, tried to flip it forward to David Olson. And Para absorbs the chop from Ibiaga. Another free kick for S2. Quickly played to Zach Mathers here. Out to Tolo on the left side. Tolo going to press forward. Sends in a cross. And just too sharp an angle, Aaron.
Yeah, Tolo loves to drive down that left side, as if you've ever watched the young man play, everybody knows. He'll even take a shot, whether he's in range or not, but loves to get forward. Was on the bench for the Sounders over the weekend in LA, didn't get a chance to play, and now he's out here tonight getting an opportunity to stretch his legs.
Well, when he does play, good things happen. Made the USL Team of the Week his last time out for a goal he scored against Los Dos. That's Tolo there. Ray Sari. Up to David Olson. Olson has the ball knocked away, not going to get a call that time. It's out to Billy Forbes on the right wing, and Forbes is pressing forward. Goes internally for Ajakwa, and it's poked away and volleyed clear by Riley Grant.
Yeah, Forbes at the last second just played the ball inside. Maybe he had an opportunity to go forward.
Here comes Wingo once more for S2. Rolls it inside, looking for Irvin Para. Right idea, wrong weight.
Yeah, just a little too hard from Henry Wingo there, looking for Para. Going back to the Forbes, though. Forbes play earlier. That's just exactly what he's looking for. A lot of space, can go against the back line. This time just gets his pass wrong. Nuhu Tolo, every time he goes forward, he's going to have to be very aware. He needs to get back right away. Help out those center backs.
Ball settles with Irvin Para. Para tried to drop it off. It's turned over. And this is Rafa Castillo. Down near side for Cochran.
Well, we've seen a couple times now, Andrew. The ball's been played in. Both Para, David Olson. No, it's early on in the game, but we saw it last weekend when ball was played up top. So difficult for sometimes for S2 to hang on to it, to keep some possession, and let the defense and the midfield for S2 just relax a little bit. It's going to be very important that they're able to hold the ball. Let the team build up, get the attack going.
And, of course, take good care of keeper Tyler Miller, who had a great game against Real Monarchs, as Henry Wingo wins that ball away from Harivo cleverly. Wingo up the line. Mathers turns it over and is fouled. Juan Nino, the offending party. Mathers thought about taking it quickly. Still hasn't technically asked for his 10 yards and just plays it back to Henry Wingo. Grant up the far side. Cross for Hopiau.
That's a fantastic ball from Grant.
Hopiau's dribble lets him down a little bit. S2 holds onto the ball. Grant once more up the left side. Finds Tolo. Olsen try to work the 1-2. It's turned over, and it's Billy Forbes on the far sideline. Forbes now, 3 defenders around him. Great acceleration from Billy Forbes. Rafa Castillo has the ball cut out.
Well, you can see Forbes is completely full of confidence. Going to take 3 guys on.
Mathers tries to roll one through for Para. It's knocked aside, rolling toward the corner flag. Hopiau gives chase and will keep it in play. Back to Mathers. Space for a cross. Sends one in. Man goes down in the box. Shot is knocked away out for a corner. A lot of contact in the box. There's Irvin Para matching up against Ibiaga. Para goes down.
It's a nice ball by Mathers. Restrepo probably should have done a little bit better with it. Of course, their starting keeper, Matt Cardoni, injured on Saturday, is out for this one. Restrepo had to sub in that game. Very, very difficult for a keeper to sub in, but now he gets the start. This is his first start of the season since joining San Antonio.
Corner kick from the left side from Zach Mathers. Meets the head of David Olsen. It's tipped up over the bar by Diego Restrepo. So right off the bat, Sounders looking a little goal dangerous.
Great timing here from David Olsen. Ball going far post. He just beats everybody, gets up early. Restrepo, again, has to just knock it over the bar.
Olsen scored a great goal on the volley for S2 against Real Monarchs. A lone goal in that 3-1 loss. Mathers now to line up to do it from the right side. Goes on the ground this time towards Ray Sari. Sari shoots through traffic, and Restrepo spills the rebound. I believe Lorenzo Ramos was there trying to punch in the conversion, but it's cleared away momentarily. Now it's with Zathers and out of bounds for an S2 throw. Pardon me, Aaron.
Interesting play. Sari probably didn't get enough on it. Gets good contact, but maybe not quite the power he was hoping for, but it comes through all these legs, and Restrepo just sees it at the last second, reacts well, but doesn't push the ball away from the danger area. Lucky he has defenders there to clear it away.
Tolo lines up across, sharp angles. Mathers meets it at the back post, directs it back across the net, and it's cleared away momentarily.
Great start here from S2. We talked about it before, Andrew. 8 changes to the San Antonio lineup. On a road trip, you know this is the second of 3.
Great ball from Sari. Flag up for offside.
That's a great ball from Sari. Good luck getting the ball quickly forward to Tolo. But as I was saying, game number 2 of 3 on the road. Players have been away from home. You're a little bit out of sync. They're going to have to weather this storm right now from an S2 team that knows they have to have a very good game tonight.
San Antonio team always so dangerous, even when you have 3 in a row in a 7-day window. So the talent, the experience, and the depth. Diego Restrepo, full confidence in him from manager Darren Powell to step in and shoulder the burden between the pipes. Ball settled by Harivo. Ball's last out of play by right back Ben Noonan. Tolo over to take the throw.
Noonan, one of those players that got a rest on Saturday against Vancouver. Has 4 starts already, though, this season.
Irvin Parra will give chase this ball. Restrepo off his line to meet it. Noonan, no stranger to travel himself. This is the 6th club in his professional career that he's called home. Joined from Louisville City from last year. Interestingly enough, Louisville City, the only other unbeaten team in the USL right now.
Yeah, both Louisville City and Cincinnati FC, really bright spots in the USL. There in the Midwest, get huge crowds. Big, huge soccer population.
Ball lost by Rogers. He'll track it down. Ajekwa applies pressure. Rogers up the line to Wingo. Wingo makes a move, gets a step on Cochran and is into the right alley. Space for a cross, and it's met by David Olsen. Fanned wide of the net, will go out for a throw at the far flag.
Oh, this is a great run from Henry Wingo. Ball's bouncing a little bit. David Olsen just doesn't get it right. Ibiaga was stepping to him a little bit. could see he's captain for the night. Sebastian Ibiaga trying to get his players going.
Castillo up to Ajekwa. Ajekwa absorbs contact. Sorry, bullies the ball away. And played on was the signal from Edvin Jurasevich. It will be a free kick.
Yeah, just a little bit of a knock there. AJ. S2 do look really focused tonight. Sure, Ezra Hendrickson really reminded them of they need to play the full 90. It's a tough second half after that great start that they had against the Monarchs.
Jacob goes up for a header against Rogers. Rogers wins away the rebound and turns it over. It's Billy Forbes. Forbes past Wingo. Tries to cut inside against Rogers, looking for a call, not going to get it.
You could just see Forbes is one touch away from beating 3 players. Does so well to get out of that.
That ball out of play off the foot of Forbes. Forbes, one of a couple players on this San Antonio roster who joined from Rayo OKC, the NASL Oklahoma City franchise that suspended operations last year.
There's a good combination on the San Antonio team of players from Rayo OKC and former San Antonio Scorpions.
Hopiao drops it off for Wingo. Sorry with a nifty move on Rafa Castillo. Rogers, Hopiao, Wingo, Mathers. S2 looking to create an opening. Surprisingly, it feels like San Antonio is giving S2 a lot of space as they work their way into the wings.
Well, S2 are doing a nice job of spreading things out, keeping the ball. San Antonio just having to sit back a little bit.
Ball inside for Castillo. They'll go back to Nino. Bruchandel. And down for Cochran. Cochran with some room in front of him now. Ajekwa. Still battling Ajekwa. Billy Forbes. Forbes gets a touch but cannot complete it past Rogers. It settles with Harivo. Rafa Castillo from long range. Tyler Miller goes to ground, bats it aside. Rebound is loose, fanned across the net and converted by AJ Ajekwa. In the 13th minute, it is 1-0 San Antonio.
And just like that, talking about S2's fantastic start, they've done everything right, and then one moment of they were just unable to clear it. And Jake was there to put it in. Just take a look again. It's a good shot from Castillo. Miller puts it away, but first to arrive is San Antonio. Looks like that's Ben Noonan, puts it right into Ajekwa. That's a bitter pill to swallow there for Sounders too. They don't deserve to be down 1-0 at all.
The danger of experienced teams is all they need is that one opening.
Well, you could see, I was reminded a bit of the Real game on Saturday when we watched Forbes get through there and tangled up with a couple players like Grant with Wingo, and he was able to get out of it, and somehow the ball still wasn't cleared. Gets knocked around, finally falls to Castillo. He takes a shot. Miller saves, but the first one on it is a San Antonio player. Now S2 down 1-0. But even then, that's a tough one to take. They looked so good here in the first few minutes.
Now the question, does all that momentum, all that confidence they managed to build over the first 12 minutes carry over through the rest of this first half and the rest of the match?
Those two just have to pick themselves back up. Keep doing what they were doing.
Miller down near side for Rogers. Rogers turns it over to Billy Forbes. Forbes into the middle. Ajake was in front of him. Ray Sari cleans up the error.
Sari had to make that tackle. Forbes is on his way.
Lorenzo Ramos is down just past midfield. Play on, signal from the referee. Henry Wingo will give chase and meet this ball at the near sideline. Has Zach Mathers on the overlap. Goes inside for Hopiao. Hopiao. Wingo. Down the line toward Mathers. cuts it back to Wingo. Wingo looking for an opportunity, and it's tackled away by Greg Cochran. Forbes spins under pressure and goes down, drawing a foul. And Edvin Jurasevich stopping play for a moment. He's going to come back and give a yellow card for the tackle on Lorenzo Ramos. That happened well behind the play. That's good refereeing to let the play continue for that long and still come give the booking.
Yeah, experienced referees will make a note of it, let the play on as long as it's an advantage. And a nice job by Jurasevich to come back there and hand out that yellow card. One that got Ramos. Well, you were just asking, Andrew, that San Antonio was giving S2 a lot of space. It was just one of those instances they were just sitting back. S2 had all the possession, all the momentum, and they recognized that. But just like that, they broke and were able to get a goal. Experienced teams will know that. They know the play is going against them. We'll just sit back and wait for our opportunity, and it came. Now it's S2's turn to continue to do the things that they were doing at the beginning of the game and see if they can't get themselves a couple of opportunities here.
Wingo, defended by Forbes. Rogers goes to switch, but has to put it well back. Ajekwa is occupying the passing lane. Tyler Miller trying to get things organized. Odd to consider that at 24 years of age, Tyler Miller, the player probably with the most professional experience on this team, as a long ball will look for David Olson but miss for a goal kick.
Yeah, of course, Parr is up there too with his time in Germany. But Tyler Miller is definitely one of the most experienced ones. Guy with the most appearances is actually Lorenzo Ramos. Third season now with S2, first two years as an academy player. This is his first season actually being on the S2 roster.
Well, they are very big on him around here, Aaron. They'll play him pretty much wherever they feel like, central midfield, defensive midfield, put him out on a wing. Lorenzo Ramos has a lot of ways he can hurt you. Ajekwa drops that ball back. It's played back to Ajekwa. He takes a big touch but wins a free kick in the process as Nuhu Tolo comes in for a late tackle.
Now just take a look at it here. Ajekwa's first touch puts him through. Tolo just a little shove in the back. Now big free kick opportunity for San Antonio.
Appears to be Rafa Castillo out over the ball.
Could be Castillo, could be Newnham. Left foot or right foot.
It's Castillo with the left. It takes a tip, goes over the end line, and will be a San Antonio corner kick. Castillo over there to take it from the right side. 36 years of age, Rafa Castillo. He made his pro debut in 1996. S2 center back Sam Rogers, born in 1999, Aaron. Ball in from Castillo, toward the middle and straight into the waiting arms of Tyler Miller.
Yep, just the different situations or groups of players on both these teams.
Ball settled down here by Olsen, rolls it forward for Tolo. Tolo gives chase, does battle against Newnham and misses. And that one goes out for a goal kick.
It's a good ball by Parra there. Opia, I think, thought he was offsides for a second, but it was a good touch from him. I think despite going down a goal in those circumstances, S2 absolutely feel they can get something here. They've had a lot of the possession. Had a couple chances to get crosses in. Again, this is a
tackle in there from Zach Mathers, who manages to get the ball away from Restrepo for a minute.
And Restrepo is see an opportunity here from S2. It's difficult. Restrepo hasn't had a lot of time on the field, and he is not looking like the most confident keeper at the moment. It's most certainly S2 have taken note of that.
Ball up for Hopiau and turned over. And a foul there. You can look at Diego Restrepo, born in Merida, Venezuela, but he is an American citizen. Former member of the IMG Academy. He's represented the U.S. at the U17, U20 levels. 29 years of age now. Was so promising back then with the Tampa Bay Rowdies till he picked up that Achilles tendon tear. And ever since then, has had a tough time winning a starting spot.
Well, anytime you're a keeper, there's only one keeper on the field, as they say. And anytime you lose your spot and you're out for that long, it's very, very difficult to come back. Even some of the most experienced keepers struggle to come back for something like that, being out for so long. But still doing it, has his opportunity now.
And another foul just past midfield.
And just keep an eye here on the center backs for S2, Riley Grant and Sam Rogers. Both have been called for fouls. Jaqua gonna have to be careful here. It's still early in the game.
Juan Nino over to Maxi Rodriguez. Dropped back now. Turned over. It's Ray Sari. Up the middle to Irvin Parra, and Parra cannot trap the ball with his first touch. It's momentarily cleared away. Henry Wingo tracks back. He'll get it to Sam Rogers.
That's the opportunity there. S2 need to capitalize on. You can see Rashandel makes a mistake. Again, a guy who hasn't had a lot of play time this year so far for San Antonio. Parra unable to hang on to it, and they lose possession. If that had been on the other end with Forbes or with Jaqua or Castillo, S2 could very well have been punished for that. Just maybe a little bit sharper up top for Sounders too.
Ball flicked on for Nuhu Tolo. Tolo collects it, sends in a low cross that is too far behind Irvin Parra. It's cleared out the side, will be an S2 throw. And for Ramos. And S2 will reset.
It's a great flick on. I think that was Ramos to put Tolo through. Unfortunately, the ball misses everybody. Great turn from Hopiau.
Hopiau working inside on Greg Cochran, absorbing some pressure, and again trying to link up with Irvin Parra. And again, it's just that final ball from S2. Such promising build-up, the payoff yet to come.
Good run from Parra. Good idea from Hopiau, just like you said, Andrew, not the execution.
24th minute here at Starfire Stadium. 1-0 the score in favor of the visitors, San Antonio FC. A blasted kick downfield. Flick on header from Jaqua. Sam Rogers misplays the back pass. Billy Forbes collects. Forbes shoots and scores into the left side of the net. In the 24th, San Antonio doubles down. It's 2-0.
Forbes, 5 goals this season so far. That's incredible. And again, just one little mistake at the back there for S2. This is an easy ball to handle. Nice flick on, though, by Jaqua, but it should still be handled there. Forbes takes a gamble, gets through, and just slots it past Tyler Miller. It's unfortunate there. Sam Rogers couldn't get a foot on it to flick it out. Tyler Miller, not much he can do. And a cool finish by Billy Forbes.
Well, that goal number 5 of the season for Billy Forbes. It should move him into a tie right now for second in the USL with Jordan Bezencourt of Red Bulls 2. His last goal coming. It was the game winner on Saturday, so now 2 goals in his last 2 games. Billy Forbes living the good life for San Antonio at the moment.
And as we said before, to have 3 of those goals be game winners. One was the very beginning of the year in a win at Rio Grande Valley Toros. Junior Gonzalez, who was assistant coach here last year, that's his team now, down there in Texas. And his next one was the 4-0 win over Reno. He had the first one, and then of course on Saturday at Vancouver. So his goals are definitely bringing in some serious points for San Antonio. They're not just 86th minute, 4th goal at a 4-0 scoreline.
You know, it's the dichotomy, especially with the congested schedule, you might say, for San Antonio. Eventually you go, well, he's working so hard and he sprints all over the field all game. Do you eventually rest him? But the thing is, if he's scoring goals, you want to let him keep that run of form, don't you, Aaron?
Absolutely. Really tough to take a player out. At some point, obviously, he'll get a rest, but you said it, Andrew, when he's scoring goals, guy, of course, does not want to come off the field.
Jaqua nearly traps that ball. The speed of Henry Wingo, able to keep pace. Forgive me, that was Riley Grant tracking back with a Jaqua. Meantime, ball to the far side is out for an S2 throw. Ball to Tolo. And Tolo, has he won a corner? He has. Third of the match for S2. And generated their most promising chance in the match so far. The header effort from David Olson. Can they replicate?
Well, they've been dangerous in here, and of course, Restrepo hasn't looked completely comfortable, so they'll want to put some pressure on him.
Ball in. Restrepo goes up, gets a hand to it. It's shot, and it's headed off the line. Harivo with the secondary clearance to get things away. And it looks like that was Ryan Rochandel that leapt up and met that ball. Might have been Newnham on the back post, but this one bounced it through for Restrepo.
We'll have to take a look at it again. But I mentioned it. Here's Restrepo coming out, needs to make a catch, can't get his gloves on. I think it's Castillo that clears it off the line. There he is. Big save from him. Harivo gets the clearance.
You can see there, great cover from Ben Newnham. Even if that had gotten by Castillo, it looks like Newnham might have been able to keep that out. And now that's twice in 2 games that defensive heroics have denied S2 a goal.
Yeah, we saw one from Beasler on Saturday for Real Monarchs. Clear one off the line. S2, it's part of the game. They have to feel hard done by, though, being down 2-0 here. They certainly don't deserve that scoreline. San Antonio, though, have done well with the chances they've been given.
Harivo tracking forward. Not going to get the foul call. Ramos plays it back to Miller. And Miller clears it away. Mathers comes near side for Sam Rogers. Rogers down to Wingo. Wingo tries to go between the legs of Cochran. Cochran and Parra collide. Parra stays down. And it looks like Cochran will join Harivo in the book here in the 28th minute. Aaron, we didn't have the best angle on that, but your initial thoughts?
It just looked like Cochran came in and caught Parra. It's a yellow card. 2 yellow cards now for San Antonio. Here we go. Yep, Parra's there first. He's there first. Cochran comes through him. He's got his foot raised a little bit, so yellow card for Greg Cochran. 2 now for San Antonio. Harivo already in the books.
Parra going to take his time to set up this free kick. Zach Mathers will be the man to send it in. 2-man wall of Forbes and Castillo, and a bevy of options at the back post. On the way from Mathers. To the foot of Sam Rogers at the back post, and he cannot control it on his first touch.
That's a great ball from Mathers. Clears everybody. Rogers is at the back. Just can't put it on frame, can't make contact. Young man will just have to settle down. He may still be thinking about that mistake earlier. Just have to settle down and keep playing the game. He's had a great season so far. Sometimes it's tough to clear your head. Well, that's the good thing about having coaches like Ezra Hendrickson, assistant coach John Hutchinson, had a huge career in Australia. Those guys will be able to tell him, hey, relax, you know, it happens to everybody. Just got to keep playing.
Obviously, as a defender, never want to make a mistake like that, but you have to envision Rogers has bought himself some goodwill with his play so far this season. Wingo drops this ball back to Zach Mathers. Rogers, defended by Ajekwa, and it's headed right away by Billy Forbes. old cliche goes that your attackers are your first line of defense, and you take a look at this front group of Ajayqua, Forbes, Castillo, Harivo. Very difficult if you get trapped in your own end to try to break them down, Aaron, it seems.
Well, they do know that it's a younger back line for S2, and they're going to use all their experience and all their physicality and try to impose the game on them.
Through a half hour now at Starfire. San Antonio FC up 2-0. Thanks to a conversion goal from Ajayqua in the 13th. And moments ago, Billy Forbes clearing up a backline mistake in the 24th minute. Cochran set to throw this one in. Up the line to Forbes. And a throw-in one on the near touchline, right around midfield, and Edvin Jurasevich going to make sure it's taken right around midfield. Wingo. Mathers. Wingo over the top. Mathers gives chase, and the ball is out of play. Well, most people who are used to seeing Henry Wingo's play so far with the Sounders have seen him in a more attacking role. Had a half hour to look at him now. Aaron, what do you think of him so far at right back?
Well, he can get forward. It's similar position to in the midfield a little bit. Still attacking from that right back position. And Henry Wingo using his pace, using his physicality that he's got. I think he's done well so far. Maybe just a little more quality in some of the service he's had. But so far, pretty good from Henry Wingo.
Ball up to Ibiaga on the far side. Newnham. Nino. San Antonio willing to grind here a little bit. You talked about, Aaron, with the veteran nature, just that kind of willingness to let the game come to you. And it has come to them in a major way so far through the first 33 minutes.
Yeah, finishing ability. Able to take those opportunities when they're presented to them. It's been the difference here.
Tolo does well to win the ball away from Harivo there. Can't pull it away from Castillo.
Up until the last minute or so, Sounders too have had the more possession.
Cochran. Long ball over the top. Wingo first one to it. Billy Forbes pokes in there and comes away with the ball. Forbes sends it across on the ground. Fanned by Tolo. Harivo a touch in front of him, and Tolo cleans it up nicely. And Harivo down and not back to his feet quickly, but that's a great tackle.
Yeah, Tolo had to get there first. Doesn't get the clearance right the first time, but is definitely on that one. Gets part of Harivo as well. See if he's able to walk this one off. Could just see Forbes, though, with the pressure that he puts on Wingo, is able to break past him. That's been the big difference here for San Antonio tonight. As I mentioned, S2 have had more of the possession. They've had the ball arguably just a bit more there in San Antonio's half. It's looked like Harivo's back on his feet. But in the end, they find themselves trailing 2-0.
Newnham throws in this ball, a header effort from Tolo. Partial clearance from Sari, and it's rolling toward the far touchline. Harivo going to keep it in play. Harivo pulls it back nicely against David Olsen. Nino, Newnham. And off Olsen for a quick throw.
Nino seems pretty comfortable in there for this being his first match of the season.
Ball central to Newnham, who spins, goes down, and Ray Sari comes away with the ball. Sari looking to spring a counter here. Holds up past midfield, rolls it out to Hopiau. Immediately up for Irvin Parra. Parra out wide for Henry Wingo, who's going to give chase and keep the ball in play before it's expertly shielded over the end line. Another promising effort comes to naught.
It's always going to be so much for Henry Wingo to do, even if he did get to that ball and was able to get under control. Two defenders sprinting after him. I was wondering maybe if Parra would have just pulled that one back to try and slow things down a little bit. That's what Henry Wingo gives you on that right-hand side, though.
Nino settles underneath the ball. Comes down for Hopiau. Wingo looking for a cross. Sees an option, goes inside for Para. Olsen chests it down, goes for the volley. It's that quick turn, can't get the connection he wants.
Good effort from David Olsen, but yeah, contact wasn't there.
Restrepo plays that ball up to Newnham. Olsen on Newnham's back. Pulled out of pressure by Ajekwa. He's knocked over, and kind of the home run effort attempted by Ray Sari there.
Yeah, looking for Para, just couldn't pick him out. If that pass had connected, Para would be through.
Ajekwa back in the inside for Castillo. Castillo out to the left for Billy Forbes. And even the speed of Forbes not going to get him to that ball. Tyler Miller collects.
Good quick ball by Ajekwa to find Castillo.
Ajekwa, a player S2 fans will perhaps have a somber memory of. Spent last year with Orange County. Scored 1 goal that season in 24 appearances. And it came at the back post in a 5-2 win against S2.
And that was a game S2 had taken a 2-0 lead in the first half.
And if I understand this correctly, I believe that header was later voted the header of the year. It was a great effort.
It was very good.
Ball back to Miller. Rogers goes on the ground for Olsen. Outside for Henry Wingo. Billy Forbes had an option to spring it, didn't like it, so he just lets the ball run into touch.
We're talking about the video replay. There's the booth right there. You can see the computer screen. Shall we need it tonight?
Ray Sari gets past Maxi Rodriguez. Rolls one to the right side, and Greg Cochran. Such great positioning always. Hopiau wins that ball away on the attempted clearance. Hopiau toward the end line, sends in a low cross, and it's knocked away by Rochendell. Out as far as Mathers. Mathers chips a ball toward the back post. It's Tolo surging in. Harivo gets the clearance and wins the foul.
That's good clearance by Harivo.
Now it is Nuhu Tolo's opportunity to feel the worst of that blow. See the replay here. And Nuhu Tolo is down, appears to be holding his left arm. Having some difficulty.
Well, Tolo just comes in the back of Harivo, but seems to be in a lot of pain at the moment.
Appears to be holding his shoulder. Trainer's coming on now to attend to him.
Joe Montgomery coming out there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but
Tolo, 1 goal this season. We'll take another look at the contact here, see if we can pick anything out.
well, it looks maybe his arm was resting on the back of Harivo, and he kind of went awkwardly.
Tolo appears to be in quite a bit of pain. Take one more look here, see what we can. Just awkward more than anything else, Aaron.
Yeah, he feels it right away, too. Well, if Nuhu Tolo can't continue, there's still the option of Denzo Ulysses. And, of course, Brian Nonasinkham's on the bench as well. Could put him in on the right. Perhaps he could go to center back and Riley Grant plays out on the left. We'll just have to see what Ezra Hendrickson decides to do. Sounders, too, though, not at all out of this game. 2 goals down. It's one of those times where you just were a little bit unfortunate to be scored on. San Antonio did well, took their chances. certainly not over for S2.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM-FC Channel 85. And also don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. A stretcher being brought out now for Nuhu Tolo, and it does appear that his night is going to be done.
And Brian Nanasinkum's getting a couple stretches and sprinting over there on the far side, so looks like he's going to be the one replacing Nuhu. Obviously a feel for the young man.
Led S2 in minutes last year, played so well that he played himself right into a first-team contract for this season. Played the full game, or very nearly the full game, in a friendly against Necaxa for the first team. Fans singing to Tolo. You may be able to pick it up on your field, Mike. Just trying to lift the young man's spirits. 19 years old, the Cameroonian. A very bright future ahead of that man.
Scored one of the goals of the week in LA 2 weeks ago. There's Nanasinkum, just getting the last few instructions. He's got a goal as well so far this year. He got the first one, the home opener against Sacramento. He's a man that can make a difference as well on set pieces. That was where this goal came from. Physical, can get up in the air.
What a set piece goal it was, too. Crossbar down and in. Took him 5 minutes to find the back of the net. And especially as a defender, you can't really hope for a better, faster transition to the professional ranks than scoring a goal 5 minutes in. He will come on to relieve Tolo, it appears. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Yeah, they're going to have to load him on the stretcher.
Clock continuing to roll here. We're up to the 43rd minute. And this will add quite a bit of stoppage time to this first half. But rightfully, everyone taking their time. No reason to rush when there's an injury. Nanasinkum coming on, and he's going to, looks like he'll have some words of encouragement for Tolo. Lean in there and talk to his teammate. Going to help put him on the stretcher as well. And Brian Nanasinkum, two-time national champion with the Stanford Cardinal. Will come into the game now, and we'll wait to see how exactly this back line going to sort out. But, you know, again, Aaron, we talked about S2 a little bit unlucky on both of their goals. But perhaps the status of the veteran experience for San Antonio that they're able to make their own luck.
Well, you certainly, Andrew, it's just taking their chances, able to finish strong, putting the pressure on the back line. And as you see Nuhu now making his way on the stretcher. It's clearly a shoulder injury of some kind.
S2 players passing some balls around, trying to stay loose. San Antonio huddling up here. They want to talk things over. We're in the 45th minute.
Oh, it is interesting. Sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
The Silver and Black have a 2-0 lead. And that's all I had, Aaron. Please.
It's interesting to wonder what head coach Darren Powell is telling San Antonio right now. Hey, listen, let's just see it through the half. But on the other side, Ezra, a chance to tell the players, hey, listen, you've done well. We've kept possession. We've had a couple chances. Now we just have to be just a little more lethal in the box. Can still make things happen.
Big round of applause for Tolo as he was getting on the cart there.
And Nanasinkum will have to check in here before he goes back on.
We'll talk about the difficulty Diego Restrepo had to deal with coming on as a goalkeeper to substitute in for Matt Cardone. Equally difficult, I would say, for a member of the back line, wouldn't you, Aaron?
Well, I think it's a little bit different in the fact that for a keeper, you know, you can sit there for 15 minutes and not touch a ball, and then suddenly somebody just smashes it right at you, and you got to react right away. So I think Notasingham, he's able to run around, play himself into the game a little bit. Certainly, he's an experienced player. A little more difficult for a goalkeeper in the fact they just don't see the ball that often, or they hope they don't. But then when the one big play that you have to make it.
Well, so Notasingham technically subbed on in the first minute of stoppage time as Nuhu Tolo leaves the field.
Of course, everybody, S2 and the Sounders organization hope he isn't out for too long. Just have to see what the report is in the end as we see 7 minutes of stoppage time right now. Notasingham in the game. Can he make a difference? S2 gets something right before halftime. That will totally change the dimension of this game.
Now how does play settle in as we resume? Notasingham going into center back like you'd predicted, Aaron. Riley Grant has flipped out to the left side. San Antonio with a throw-in on the far sideline. Nino Rodriguez up for Newnham. Newnham keeps it in play. Harivo nearly gets it back to him, but wins the throw.
This is an interesting little 7-minute mini game here. Long stoppage, then 7 minutes, and then halftime.
Ball out for a corner kick on the far sideline. Castillo standing over it. Sends it in from the right side. Back post headed for Ibiaga, heads it down, and Tyler Miller throws himself to the ground and gets a hand to it.
That's a great save from Miller. Ibiaga got away from his marker. Take a look at it here. Castillo all the way on the back post, knows Ibiaga's there. Riley Grant has to do better. Great save from Miller.
Here's Greg Cochran will take this ball from the left side. Castillo shows short. Low ball in from Cochran, headed up and away by Sam Rogers. Flip back in by Rodriguez, away by Para. Headed on by Sari. And now Sari going to remove doubt from the equation. The ball will head out of bounds at the far sideline.
Great corner in by Newnham. High enough, but a lot of pace on it. Anybody gets a flick to that, and it's probably going to go on the back of the net.
Third of 7 minutes added on. Headed on by Grant. Newnham, Ajekwa, Ramos wins it back. Olsen gets a piece of it and wins the throw. Just look at the ground being covered by San Antonio. Even here on the throw-in, eating up a lot of potential space. And there, what appeared to be a quick turnover, a foul in favor of S2. Ramos wants a quick restart, takes out Mathers. Switch down near side for Henry Wingo. Inside for Sari. Overlapping run from Grant on the far side, and Sari picks him out. Grant goes airborne to keep the ball in play. Notasingham. Ramos. And Harivo tackles the ball away quite well. Sari with Castillo all over him. And Castillo helps Sari back to his feet. Sari perhaps maybe a little bit bitter about that tackle.
Oh, here's Sari breaking the play up again. Castillo keeps an arm on him, a second arm, a third arm. Easy call from the referee.
Henry Wingo pressing forward now, looking for space for a cross. Drops it off for Hopiao. Hopiao turns, scoops it back to Wingo. Wingo tries a left-footed cross on the ground, And Forbes knocks it right out of play. Ball still on the field, going to delay the restart. 6th minute of added time now, as the ball's back to Nanasinkum. Rodriguez runs onto that ball. Tackled away by Sari. David Olsen inside for Para. Para for a left-footed shot that will sail over the crossbar and out for a goal kick.
Well, Para looking to beat Restrepo with a quick shot, just gets over it. He had players running to his left, but chooses to shoot as Para catches, looks like Ibiaga over there on the far side.
Caught him late as the ball was going away. Evan Jurcevic coming over to talk to Para. Looks like it'll just be a warning. As we tick into the 7th added minute here in the first half, San Antonio leads 2-0. A long delay caused by the injury to Nuhu Tolo. Ball chested bound by Ajekwa. Cleared away by Wingo. Para cannot win the header over Rushandel. Down near side for Hopiau. Billy Forbes closing back at terminal velocity. Wingo. Hopiau. Ramos. Wingo. Hopiau turns, drops it back to Ramos once more. Sorry, looking to switch, picks out Grant. Back to Sorry, down to the end line for Grant. Waist-high cross headed away by Ibiaga. Castillo trying to turn and clear it. Ray Sorry wins it away. .52 minutes in here in the first half. Edvin Jurcevic looking at his watch. Will this be the last attack of the half? Mathers switches, looking for Grant. Grant, some trouble with the bounce, gets it forward toward David Olsen. And the ball out for a throw-in on the far side. It won't be put back in play. 52 minutes gone. And a 2-0 lead for San Antonio here in the first half. Aaron, dangerous moments from S2, but what do they have to do to put one in the net?
Well, I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. We talk about just taking their opportunities. They've had a couple of mistakes at the back from San Antonio where the ball is turned over. S2 unable to keep possession, and the ball goes just the other way for San Antonio. On the other end, Sounders, if they can clean it up a little bit at the back, they might play themselves back in this game. They have a lot of possession. They look sharp, but San Antonio have been so clinical in the opportunities they've been given, and that is the difference right now.
The goals coming in the 13th from Ajekwa and the 24th from Billy Forbes, the man on fire. 5 goals on the season for him. We'll take a break and be back with our halftime coverage. Again, your score at the break, 2-0 in favor of San Antonio over Seattle Sounders FC 2.
The stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
On April 12th, the USL set the soccer world on fire as Phoenix Rising FC announced the signing of Didier Drogba, adding to the growing lineup of world-class players and young rising talent in the league, including England internationals Sean Wright-Phillips and Joe Cole, former Mexican international Omar Bravo, and German international Marcel Schaefer. The announcement set off a whirlwind of activity for the former Ivory Coast international, known simply as the King. First, hundreds of Phoenix Rising FC faithful packed the Phoenix airport in hopes of catching a glimpse of the global star, giving their newest addition a world-class welcome, and he did not disappoint. Didier posed with the Rising FC scarf and took time to shake hands and snap selfies with his newest supporters. The drums were out in full force, filling the airport with chants and songs of La Furia Roja 1881 and Bandidos, the club's recognized supporter groups. Then, late Sunday night, Didier was formally introduced to a packed house during halftime of the Phoenix Rising FC and Swope Park Rangers match. Joined at midfield by dozens of local youth soccer players, all clamoring for his photo and shaking his hand, Didier was introduced by Club Governor Burke Bouquet and presented with his new number 11 Phoenix Rising jersey. Never short for words, the King grabbed a mic and addressed the crowd. After his comments, he embraced his youth players on the field, shook hands with fans in the stands, and even kissed a few babies. All in a week's work for one of the world's top soccer talents and personalities, and the newest member of Phoenix Rising FC and the USL. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit USLD3.com.
The floodlights beaming down here at Starfire Stadium in Tequila, Washington, where after 45 minutes of play and 7 added on after an injury to Nuhu Tolo, San Antonio FC leads hosting Seattle Sounders FC 2-0. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Andrew Harvey alongside Aaron Heinzen here. And Aaron, your general thoughts on that first half?
Well, S2 started out so bright. They looked great, controlling the tempo, controlling the game, creating a couple half chances for themselves. And then there was one slip up, 14th minute, San Antonio take the lead 1-0. You could see S2 took a little bit of a dip in the confidence, but they fought right back. And then a second mistake, and San Antonio leads now 2-0. But S2 aren't out of this. They've still been controlling the game. They've still been creating opportunities here and there. I wouldn't say there's been anything that have been a really huge opportunity other than Castillo's clear off the line. But maybe just a little more sharper, a little more lethal inside the 18, and they are back in business. The other side of the coin is that Restrepo, the second team goalkeeper for San Antonio, hasn't really looked that confident. That's something that Ezra, I'm sure, will emphasize here during halftime. But so far, if I was Ezra, I'd say, this game just hasn't gone our way. Keep fighting, and something will come up.
When you're dealing with a goalkeeper who is sort of struggling the way Restrepo is, you kind of forced to make a highlight reel save on what was a pretty routine header from David Olsen on that early corner kick, and then some other iffy moments, the Ray Sari shot on the ground that got spilled. Do you have to fight an inclination to start taking more speculative shots, or is that the right thing to do?
No, you certainly don't want to just let him off the hook with shots over the bar from 35 yards out, but just a couple more pressure on the crosses, especially as where Restrepo has looked like he's had some problems dropping the ball falling through his hands, those kinds of things. You just take a risk. Just plan on the fact that that's going to happen again. See if you can get a foot on it. Those kinds of things can happen all the time. So just a little more risk-taking inside the box for S2, and something can pop up. If they get a goal, they're right back in this game. If they allow a third goal, it might just be San Antonio's night. So they're really going to have to be strong at the back, clear up some of those mistakes that we saw. There's just been a couple of them, but San Antonio, as we've seen so far this season, have really been clinical. 13 goals already in 5 games early on in the season. That's pretty incredible. So just clear up those mistakes and take a couple risks up top, and they might be right back in business.
Like we said, San Antonio with the best goal differential in all of the USL before this one kicked off. Taking a look at Ray Sorry, we called him out pre-game. What have you thought of him through that first 45-minute stretch there?
Well, he's been here and there. He's had some good passes, broken some things up as expected before. I think he's had a pretty solid game. Maybe for him to continue to keep playing, you can see him. He wants to play quickly, and sometimes the players aren't giving him the ball. So maybe be a little more vocal. But he's done his job in there. He's done pretty much all he can, and I think he's had a good match so far.
Unfortunate injury to Nuhu Tolo. Obviously, we'll never speculate about the severity there, but we did see him stretchered off after a lengthy delay. Brian Nanasinkum, the two-time national champion at Stanford, comes in and is now playing center back where Riley Grant was. He moves out left. Fundamentally, does this change the way S2 can attack as they're trying to move forward out of the backfield?
Well, it's a good question, Andrew. It certainly takes away a bit of the space. Riley Grant, fast, athletic player, but he's not Nuhu Tolo, who can really blow by players, so it takes away a little bit of the pace. But Riley Grant is still capable of serving in great crosses. He's got a little bit of the height, so he can be a threat on corners. So it's not a massive change, but it is certainly one. Nuhu is a special player with legs that last the entire full 90 minutes practically, and he can cause some problems for sure. So it's a tough loss for S2 and a tough loss for the Sounders, and hopefully he'll bounce back quickly.
As you're taking a look at how to get back in this game, sometimes the back line has to press higher up, get more involved in the attack, but with the speed coming the other way, Billy Forbes, AJ Ajekwa, how do you try to balance the need to hold on to these guys who can really hurt you on the counter, but still get enough numbers for it that you can create quality attacking chances?
Well, if an outside back is going forward, obviously it's sometimes on the midfield players to come by and help out in those areas. And everybody knows that Billy Forbes clearly is a massive threat, and he'll take on 2 and 3 guys. He's that kind of confident player at the moment. So everybody will be aware that he's there. They know they have to get forward at the same time. So it's certainly at some point in the game, if there's 10 minutes left and they're still down 2-0, it's got to be that time where guys just have to get forward, and that's the nature of the game. And then we've seen the score lines can go anywhere. But that's way in the future. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we'll just see. They know he's a threat. They know Jake was a threat, and they'll be able to handle it.
I know you don't love to be in the future, but you're there, so I'll keep you there if I can. Looking ahead, Javoran Stevens on the bench. He's a different kind of striker than Irvin Parra. Do you think we see him? And if so, how much time do you think Ezra Hendrickson might leave for the young man?
I think we'll see him probably 15 minutes left. Parra usually gets subbed out right around that time. He's a player, he's physical, strong, has a lot of the experience for S2, but eventually he wears down just a little bit. They replace him, put on Javoran Stevens. He's got the pace. Maybe he can stretch him, create some opportunities for S2. They're right there.
And finally, you take a look. Tyler Miller, solid in goal, good saves. Can you ask anything else of him?
He's had some great saves. Communication-wise, just keep talking to his players. You know they're going to be under pressure. That's pretty much all they can do, and I think he's had a great first half. Just unlucky to be down 2-0.
Well, unlucky kind of the word at the front and the back end for S2. For San Antonio, meanwhile, no luck needed, all conversion and all poaching. And they have the lead, 2-0 at the break here at Starfire Stadium in Tequila. We'll take a short break and return with the second 45 of this one.
The stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Welcome into the USL Network. I'm TJ Reeves. It's opening weekend, and we have President Jake Edwards with us to talk about the beginning of the 2017 season. Jake, welcome. It's only been a few months since the USL Cup was raised in New York. Very busy off-season. One of your biggest stories, though, is elevation to Division II status. Tell us more about the importance of that.
Yeah, thanks, TJ. It's been a very busy off-season, as you said. Short off-season that gets shorter every year. A lot of good things happening. One of the big stories in the off-season was the sanctioning of the USL as Division 2. This is a major component of a long-term strategic plan called Destination 2020. We embarked on this a little over 4 years ago. And a component of that was raising the level of operation and sophistication of the USL as a league and as the whole enterprise, working with all the clubs to make sure we have the right ownership, we have the right facilities, we have a sufficient level of operation at each club, and build it so that it has to be as good as or better as a second division level.
2017 is also another productive year for expansion. You're bringing 3 new expansion teams in this season, as well as several new ownership groups with existing teams. What is the overall league strategy on expansion, and will we see more of it soon?
We will. So we are expanding always with a national focus, but looking how we regionalize the competition.
We have several new stadiums opening this season. I know that has been a big goal of the United Soccer League.
It's a huge initiative for us. It's been a game changer for a number of other leagues when they focused on improving the quality of the buildings. For us, it's about delivering an authentic match day experience for the fan and providing the players a very professional environment to play in.
As you start this season, it is opening weekend. The competition level is getting stronger. You have an influx of young, talented players from the United States and other places, also veteran players that you're bringing back. How do you feel about the level of competition as this season begins?
I would say this is probably going to be the most challenging season for the teams to compete in this league. We've got a really exciting blend of talent in our league now. We've got some world-class players coming in, players like Joe Cole here in Tampa, Omar Bravo, legend out of the Mexican team playing for our team in Phoenix, Sean Wright-Phillips also. So we've got players that have played in the Premier League and in the international levels. We've got a core group of professionals, of veterans that have played in the MLS, USL, overseas. We've got 70 players now in the league that play for full senior international squads. So we've got a good base of really high quality and in some cases world-class talent, but we've got this really exciting group of young players who are going to be the next superstars of the national teams or of MLS, let's say, in the future.
Jake, thanks very much. Good luck with the start to the season. If you want to see the complete interview, you can go to uslsoccer.com. The season underway. Thanks for being with us.
We are back at Starfire Stadium in Tequila, Washington, seconds away from the start of the second half. San Antonio FC has a 2-0 lead over the visitors. Goals coming from AJ Ajekwa in the 13th minute and from Billy Forbes, his 5th of the season. He's second in the USL in scoring, that goal coming in the 24th minute. Aaron, especially in these first 5, 10, 15 minutes here in the second half, what does S2 have to do to kind of get themselves back into this game?
Just continue to be energetic, continue to do what they were doing, getting those passes, getting out wide, utilizing the pace of Henry Wingo. Shannon Hopiau had a couple moments where he was getting in there. Zach Mathers, more of him on the ball. Just using your attacking options, but at the same time making a nice balance, I should say, between being patient when you're going forward and then when you can attack, really attack as quick as possible. And at the same time, putting pressure on some of the center backs here. Ryan Rochandel, again, we talked about him. This is his first start of the game, and the shots on Restrepo.
San Antonio will take the second half kickoff. Quick look at the benches for both teams. Obviously, Nottingham already subbed in. You still, for S2, have Denzo Ulissi, Brian Meredith, the backup keeper, Asriel Gonzalez, Javorn Stevens, Francisco Narbonne, and Milo Barton. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, you have names like Cesar Elizondo, Ali Hassan, Sean Chien, Devin Vega, Pekka, the Brazilian, Stephen McCarthy. A lot of talent available for both these teams. And it looks like we're going to have one of those substitutions right here.
And it's going to be Billy Forbes is going to get the rest. So his night is done. He got himself a goal.
And he'll be replaced by Devin Vega, an 18-year-old rookie, just signed out of the FC Dallas Academy, and a San Antonio native. So he'll come on. Like keeper Diego Restrepo, also a member of the former U.S. U17 residency program down at the IMG Academy in Florida. A program, Aaron, that after quite some time made the announcement this year that they're going to shutter their doors. They feel like it's mission accomplished. Zach Mathers, an early shot, going to force Restrepo, and again, iffy inertial moment from Diego Restrepo.
That's exactly what S2 need. Quick shots, maybe a little bit far out, and Mathers didn't get all of it on that, but you could see Restrepo just not completely comfortable with that.
Quick ball up toward Vega. Header won by Wingo. Just to finish that thought really quickly about the US U17 residency program. Aaron, it provided so much. Do you think it is time to kind of say goodnight?
I think it's time. I think a lot of those players that were in residency now can just go to these academies around the country for the various Major League Soccer teams. Now they are going to fill in the gap. But it was something that needed to be done in the United States. These young, talented players needed a place where they can play full-time, and that offered the perfect place. There's a IMG Academy down there with a lot of fields and a lot of great facilities for that, and it served a great purpose. But, of course, you know, now Major League Soccer has grown to the point where they can provide those opportunities.
Hopia with some nifty moves against Cochran. Cross swung in from Wingo toward the header of Olsen. Harivo wins it away, and Olsen gonna need a minute to see if he can catch the number of that bus. Near side for Wingo. Of course, the Sounders Academy now playing its own kind of proud role in that U.S. SDA system. Just announced that new education initiative a couple weeks ago. We had Mark Nichols in here, talk to him about that. Chance to get a great education, both on the pitch and off it. And kind of exciting to look at this new up-and-coming generation. Some of them are on the bench tonight for S2 and realize where this sport could be about to go.
Absolutely. Well, you have to have a background for the players, because not everybody's going to make it in the real big time. But of course, some exciting players. You mentioned Ezreal Gonzalez, one of them on the bench. Been incredible for the academies over the last year.
On Ezreal Gonzalez, 15 years of age, plays up with the Academy U18s because he's so talented. And if he subs on, I will be making another reference to the fact that Rafa Castillo, who's on the pitch right now for San Antonio, made his professional debut in 1996.
Well, you'll have to. You've got to.
Contractually obligated. As that one volleyed away by Ibiaga. Nana Sinkum trying to serve in a secondary ball. Flick on header. Hopiao gives chase and loses it out the far side.
Well, of course, Wade Weber did some games. He was a coach here in the Sounders program, and he did some games last year and went to a tournament with Ezreal Gonzalez and came back and was so excited about what a talent he is developing into, and said he's going to be one to watch for the future for the Sounders Academy. And who knows from then on, could just go from there.
Ball put in the middle for Nana Sinkum, who subbed on for Nuhu Tolo in the first minute of added time there in the first half. Henry Wingo still got that speed on the far sideline.
You can see Forbes was doing it in the first half, and obviously Vega will be doing it in the second, but they're just going to track Wingo every single time he's getting it.
Ball down for Grant. Grant serves across back post. Header from Para. Easily sails out of play for a goal kick.
Good ball in from Grant. Para just couldn't get high enough above the ball and nod down on it, get a lot of power, just kind of drifted off his forehead. It's another bright start from S2. They put the finishing touches on it.
Restrepo to Rushandel. Risky looking heel flick there from Devin Vega. Confidence of youth, but sometimes you catch a player and you find yourself in the book pretty early.
Now, Vega had his first start against Vancouver on Saturday. Showed really well against the Whitecaps FC2. Getting a chance to play again here tonight. That's exactly what head coach Darren Powell would like to see. Forbes gets a goal, they get their lead. Now he's able to rest and will probably play against Portland on Friday.
Ramos fouls Maxi Rodriguez there. Rodriguez, another recent arrival, just joined from UNC Charlotte. Signed with the club in January. Ibiaga chips one's over the top. Harivu looking to run onto it. And it's very expertly shepherded out of play by Brian Nanasinkum.
Ibiaga does well to get out of that. Looked like he might have been in trouble there for a second.
Flick on header there from Mathers. Ibiaga has traveled a bit in his soccer career. He joins from Houston Dynamo as S2 knocking on the door here. Hopiao loops one outside toward Wingo. Wingo gets a touch, goes down, and it's out for a goal kick. He was born in Warri, Nigeria, but also a U.S. citizen, like Restrepo, the keeper. And joined from the Houston Dynamo, but last season he was loaned to Rayo OKC. 2 goals in 19 appearances for them, and he's also played in both Denmark and Iceland in his professional career.
International game, you never know what it'll take you.
Still, though, I think probably the temperatures of Texas preferable to the frozen north.
Maybe it depends on what time of year it is, I guess, in both places.
I'll look at the foul here. Ball comes inside and just clips Ray Sorry. It's with Henry Wingo on the far sideline. It's won away by Devin Vega, and he loses the ball into touch.
Yeah, Vega through the Dallas Academy. Chose to go professional here with San Antonio. It's a good competitive team to start out on.
And Zach Mathers probably going to the book for that late shoulder charge on Harivo, and indeed he will. 52nd minute. Take another look at this.
Yeah, Mathers just lowers the shoulder this time, catches Harivo. I don't think he can complain too much about it. Good pressure from him, but just a little too physical. First card for Seattle tonight. Harivo, the other one, he's carrying one for San Antonio, and so is Cochran.
Now, Mathers having some words with the referee. Olsen taps back to Sari. Sari goes down as Ajekwa caught him a little bit late after the ball got away. And if the fouling continues, I wouldn't be surprised to see another quick card from Edvin Jurasevich. It's not unheard of for a referee to hand out a quick card if a match is getting a little bit testy, to try to appeal for cooler heads.
Well, right now he's doing a good job just warning players, letting them know the expectations. And if things really start to get out of control, you throw out a few cards and settle things down.
David Olsen gives chase that ball down in the corner, gets a touch. And it goes out of play. ECS down there right in front of them, they're unhappy with it. They think they saw something that both the assistant and Edvin Jurasevich missed. Brilliant leave by Hopiao to get that ball to Wingo. Wingo inside the area now, trying to cut the ball back. Into space, Ray Sari runs onto it, takes a touch. Looking for his right foot, Ramos out wide for Wingo. Wingo swings in across. Headed up and away by Harivo, and S2 will take their first corner of the second half, 4th of the game.
That's really nicely done by Ray Sari. Drives forward, takes a lot of space, and slows it down for just a second in order to get his pass away.
Blast kick. Restrepo goes for the punch. David Olsen on the volley. He scored one like that against Real Monarchs, wins another corner.
He had to reach back for that one, but it's good contact from Olsen. Another opportunity here for S2. Pretty obvious to say, but an early goal here for S2 really puts pressure on San Antonio.
Low ball from Mathers this time. Header comes central, then is knocked away. Not a sink one. Meets it at the edge of the attacking third, sends it back in. Shot and scored into the far side of the net. A beautiful strike, and it's Sam Rogers, the Academy center back. His first goal with S2.
And that's exactly the way to bounce back from a first half that maybe wasn't Sam Rogers' favorite. He was at fault for the second goal, struggled occasionally with his distribution, and look at this ball from Nana Sinkum. It's away from the goalkeeper, and again, Restrepo looks like he's gonna come out, hesitates, Rogers gets onto it, ball's able to drop to his feet and connects perfectly. Great finish from Sam Rogers, gets all of that into the far post.
Well, we mentioned after a mistake that led to a goal by Billy Forbes that Rogers had bought himself a fair amount of goodwill with his play so far this season. I'd say he just bought himself a great deal more. It's 2-1 here in the 56th minute.
He has been solid so far this season. Had some learning moments. Had one in the first half and bounces back with his first professional goal for Sam Rogers. And what a finish. And now game on here at Starfire. It's going to see Nino is replaced. And Darren Powell going to make a change.
It will be the Brazilian Pekka coming in, 27 years of age. He joins also from Rayo OKC.
Now, I'm not sure if this was something that was planned beforehand because it's come so quickly, but this is a man that Darren Powell will want to see in the field now that they've just given up a goal. Controls the midfield, has started every single game so far this season until tonight. One of their veteran guys in there, 27 years of age.
Jaquep well offside there. Ball rolls through to Miller. Pekka, a Flamengo product, born in Rio de Janeiro. And spent time with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in the NASL. Played a couple matches when he signed for RSL in 2015 and wound up at Rayo. An appeal that Restrepo handled the ball outside the area there.
ECS felt that he let that ball go out of bounds. The end line of a corner kick for S2.
See, so in addition to Baldomero Toledo, there's a sixth referee. Harivo runs onto the end of this, tries to cut it back, and Sam Rogers, the goal scorer from moments there, to cut it out.
Just a slight hesitation between Grant and Rogers about who was going to take that. Sam does well to recover.
Have to keep your head about you in the euphoria of a recent goal. Ball out for a throw for San Antonio. In for Castillo.
And just before Rogers scored that goal, I was wondering why Nana Sinkum was the one player that was back for S2, being that he's a proven goal scorer on the corner kicks. Sam Rogers comes up big.
Hopiao shakes off an arm tackle. Surging forward now. Rolls the ball out right for Wingo. Wingo, an immediate cross inside. It's behind Irvin Parra. Mathers gives chase to the far side. It's looped up the touchline and bounced off Riley Grant for a San Antonio throw.
Now a test here for San Antonio. Under the gun a little bit, under some pressure. Can they take this pressure? Can they slow things down?
Greg Cochran tries to go over the top. Rogers heads it away. Maxi Rodriguez. Cochran. Vega. Trying to work it back to Vega. Flick on from Castillo. Sam Rogers playing with all the confidence in the world right now. Rodriguez wins it away. It goes into touch.
So good to see from a player who potentially could have been very rattled after the first half he had. Wasn't bad, but a couple of mistakes. Big one for the second goal, and what a way to come back in the second half.
Ball sent near side for Grant. Immediately defended by Harivo. Olsen lets the ball get knocked away. Assistant referee signals for a San Antonio throw. Thrown into a Jaquep. Jaquep pulls it back, goes down, not going to get a call. Sorry, dribbling out now. Grant. Up the line, Mathers goes down. He's looking for a call. Play on signal from the referee. Irvin Parra surging forward. Parra into the area, options to his right, sends a cutback cross, and it's missed by David Olsen. Sprinting into the box, the ball gets to his feet, and it fans wide. Meanwhile, Zach Mathers back at midfield, picking himself up behind the play.
It's a great run from Parra, absolutely waits to the last second. What a cutback. Olsen gets his foot on it. Let's just take a look at it here again. It's just a little bit. Has to really reach for it. Hopiao is there. It's one of those that's coming in so fast. It's hard to communicate that at the very end. So we see the replacement. Henry Wingo's coming off. His night is done. It's probably a case of Henry Wingo getting his minutes, I would assume. But nonetheless, big change as Denzo Alissi will now slot in at right back. The Haitian.
And we have another yellow card issued to Ibiaga. That one also behind the play.
As Ibiaga Penalized for that foul that he had on Zach Mathers just before the Para cross. So 3 San Antonio players in the book now.
Through an hour of play here at Starfire Stadium. And just when things were starting to look a little bit daunting, Sam Rogers, the academy kid, comes up with a big right foot, blasted into the far side of the net. It's 2-1. Shannon Hopiau pressing forward now.
You could see the pace of Ulissi right away. It's an excellent ball.
Cross back post into the middle. Olsen reaches behind him, can't connect with it once more. San Antonio looking to play quickly. It's Castillo, pass midfield. He wants to go over the top to Ajekwa. Nana Sinkham going to shield him out, and Tyler Miller catches it.
Sounders, too, feeling it right now. This play is open. Got some pace out there, and that's exactly right there what they want to avoid.
Another turnover. Castillo loops one towards Ajekwa. Ajekwa past Sam Rogers. Rogers puts his body between him and the goal. Ball back to Pekka. Devin Vega. Down for Ajekwa and turned over. Shannon Hopiau going over the top, looking for David Olsen. Olsen gets a touch to it, trying to play himself in. Restrepo out of his net. And David Olsen, a little shove there for Ben Noonan. Screening him off the ball. Harivo and Grant do battle now. End-to-end action, Aaron.
It's a great early ball by Hopiau to find David Olsen. He couldn't control it, but excellent look from the young man.
So Denzo Ulissi, another young player out of Haiti, is named to the Caribbean U20 Cups Best 11, representing his nation. And another guy that didn't see too much action in the beginning of the season. Talked to Ezra Hendrickson, just, you know, that adjustment for Caribbean players, guys like Myron Samuel, Olex Anderson that have come through in years past. The food, the weather can take a little bit, but apparently he's now ready.
And, of course, a little bit of a language barrier, too, for him.
Ezra was joking with me that he had to get his French back up to par. I'm certain that it's more than adequate.
Sure.
Restrepo. Header won by Grant. Nana Sinkham up the middle to Olsen. Grant, very clever one-touch pass. Harivo got an arm looped around Olsen there. Olsen sends into the middle and wins a foul after the ball gets away. David Olsen putting in some hard work. This is quite a shift for him tonight.
Well, that's nicely done by Olsen to just hold off Harivo. Of course, Harivo is on the yellow card. We may see him changed out here pretty soon as Darren Powell is going to make his next move. Probably a little bit nervous about what he's seeing at the moment.
Mathers settles. Nana Sinkham going over the top, but no one making a run. And Noonan going to escort this one out. And we will get that change now. And it's going to be AJ Ajekwa coming off in favor of Cesar Elizondo, 29 years of age, from San Jose, Costa Rica. So Ajekwa bags a goal. He gets subbed out. Billy Forbes grabs a goal. He gets subbed out. And Juan Nino also replaced. So all 3 subs used up now by Darren Powell.
Not mistaken, Harivo stays on. Cesar Elizondo, 2 goals this season, both coming in that Reno game, though. Number 2 and number 3 in that 4-0 win. Man, 10 caps with Costa Rica.
Para drops it back for Grant. Rogers over to Ulissi. Ramos has to play it back quickly. Gives it to Sari. Nana Sinkham. Grant back to the inside. Chops it back to Nanasinkum. Nanasinkum sends one in. Chested down. Olsen lays it in. A shot, and it's over the bar. Great connect between David Olsen and Shannon Hopiau. But again, no payoff.
Great recognition from Olsen about Hopiau on the far post.
Fantastic settle. Just knows immediately he has a man to his left. Fantastic play. And you can see there, Olsen knew just where to track in to draw in Greg Cochran on the far side. And oh, what a goal it would have been.
Hopiau just got so excited, blasted over the bar. You just have to put it on frame at least.
Foul in favor of S2 just past midfield. S2 restarts play. Ball into touch on the far sideline for a San Antonio throw. Maxi Rodriguez trying to settle this ball. Couple defenders around him, including Ray Sari, who wins the ball and wins the foul.
That's Elizondo. First foul from him. He's trying to get it off Sari.
Mathers tripped up there by Castillo. And Zach Mathers a little bit victimized by the San Antonio team these last couple minutes.
Yeah, he's caught a couple of knocks. There's Castillo. Imagine catching Mathers from behind. Let's take a look at it again. Yeah, he kicks out at him too a bit, so maybe a little bit fortunate he doesn't get a yellow card for that. Certainly, referee's certainly taking a note of it.
Mathers sends in that ball. It skiffs off the head of Maxi Rodriguez and goes out for an S2 corner. There's 6 of the night. Mathers tracks to the far side. He'll send in this ball. Both Nanasinkum and Sam Rogers, the center backs, inside the area. High kick toward the back post. Headed back into the middle. Cleared up by Vega, only as far as Ray Sari. Ray Sari back to the right side for Mathers. They'll reset. Mathers coming inside now. Tackled away hard by Pekka, and now it's Vega coming the other way on the counter. Vega loses his man inside the area now. An option to his right. Goes for goal himself, and a casual finish into the far side of the net. Devin Vega coast to coast. It's 3-1.
Well, again, S2 just caught when they had all the possession, all the opportunities, and just like that, it's all started from Pekka. It was good, calm defensive work from him. Takes it right off of Zach Mathers. Finds the streaking Devin Vega, and he does so well. Leaves Ray Sari in the dust. Great finish from Devin Vega.
That's always the
first
risk.
Professional goal.
When you open up to look for an equalizer, sometimes you leave yourself open. And like you said, first professional goal, and what a goal it is for the 18-year-old rookie. He'll remember that one for a long time.
Now, there's still so much time. You don't have to go for it all right now. There's still plenty of time for S2 to get back into the game, but now they find themselves down 2-0 again. It's kind of the same thing from the first half.
Another turnover. It's back with Vega. Elizondo trying to overlap to the left side. Castillo pulls away the tackle. Castillo to Pekka. Drop to the right side for Noonan. San Antonio going to slow it down now. Maxi Rodriguez looking for Harivo. Nanasinkum clears it away. Irvin Parra spins to his right, has Shannon Hopiau on the run. Parra trying to shovel off Ibiaga. And Irvin Parra wins a throw on the far side.
As I was saying, Andrew, same thing for the first half. S2, a lot of possession, creating chances here and there. And just like that, caught on the counterattack and find themselves down again. Still plenty of time, though. 20-plus minutes.
Rochandale over to Vega. Cochran. Restrepo. Booming kick towards midfield over the head of Elizondo. Sam Rogers will settle. Ramos. Nanasinkum up to Olsen. Through 3 defenders, can't keep the ball in play. It's out for a San Antonio throw. Final 20 minutes of play here. San Antonio have exhausted their substitutes. S2 has one more, and he is now waiting to check in on the far sideline. Ramos goes down there. Play continues. Cochran loses that ball into touch, and we'll have our substitution. And here he comes. We talked about him earlier. The youngster, Azriel Gonzalez, going to come in 15 years of age. We'll check in for David Olsen.
Now he gets his professional debut here, Azriel Gonzalez. Very, very exciting academy product. 15 years old. Let's see what kind of excitement he can bring to the field. I thought for sure we'd see Javorn Stevens sometime around this part of the second half, but Gonzalez gets the call. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
I am as well. And a bad tackle there in the open field by Denzo Ulissi. Caught Rafa Castillo pretty cleanly, and he will go into the book for his trouble here in the 72nd minute.
Yeah, Ulissi catches Castillo. Draws a yellow card. Just reaches out a little too far. Take a look here again. Castillo just gets there first. Ulissi's just a little bit stretched out. Referee decides to give him a yellow card.
Ball up to Castillo. Vega. His pass is turned over. A lot of quick passes now from S2. They loop one off the field, and it catches Shannon Hopiau in the back. Ball volleyed into touch. Left for Ulissi. Over the top to Para. Tries a flick-on header. Cochran tracks back. Leaves a bouncing ball for Diego Restrepo, and Azriel Gonzalez is right there.
Great pressure from Gonzalez. Puts it right on Restrepo. Has to get rid of it quickly. Ball stays down here.
Hopiau coming top side. He'll drop it back for Sam Rogers.
We'll notice again San Antonio sitting with 2 forwards up top. It's 2-on-2 if possession is lost. So this is where you leave yourself vulnerable. This is where they've been caught a couple of times so far this season. Very important they don't lose possession in front of San Antonio's attack. And we have
a penalty awarded here in the 74th minute. Player was on the run, couldn't quite make out who went down.
Looks like it's Irvin Para. Take a look again. Zach Mathers just playing it in behind. There's Para. He gets there first. Hit from behind by Rushandel. S2 a chance to get right back in this game again. One thing Para brings to this team is his ability to use his body up top. Always giving a little bit of a shoulder, making sure he gets in there first. Hopefully he's able to walk that off.
And speaking of giving a shoulder, he may have given one just there. Still holding it gingerly. It's Zach Mathers at the spot for S2. Diego Restrepo in net. Can Mathers score his second of the season?
Mathers took several of these last season.
No delay from Mathers, who goes to the left side and scores. It's 3-2 in the 75th minute as Diego Restrepo goes the wrong way. Hope still for S2. No quit from the youngsters.
Mathers, as cool as you like, steps right up and finishes it. He's been in that spot before. Automatic choice for Ezra Hendrickson to take the penalty kicks. Comes up big again.
Very well
Restrepo the other way is a great hit for Mathers.
And sends it into the side net. You know, you cannot take a penalty any cleaner than that. Beautiful placement from Zach Mathers.
Sounders too looking to restart quickly there. Para just excited to get things going. S2 with the chance to play themselves back into this game one more time.
Rafa Castillo coming the other way. Sorry to Hopiau. Back inside for Sorry. New life in the feet of the Seattle Sounders, too.
Look at that pace from Ulysses.
Nearly tracks that ball down the side. Just a casual 40-yard sprint. Pekka. Vega. Reset to Rochandel, who committed the penalty that led to the goal. Sam Rogers wins it away from Vega, goes back to Miller. A light rain falling here at Starfire Stadium. Flag up for offside on Para. Worth mentioning, Aaron, that San Antonio had only conceded 2 goals total coming into tonight. They led in 1 in a 1-1 draw against Colorado Springs, and they led in 1 against Vancouver Whitecaps. S2 has doubled that season total.
Yeah, S2 probably should have had a couple more, but they've done very well creating opportunities for themselves tonight.
Ramos and Elizondo go foot to foot. Ramos wins a hard foul.
It's probably also worth mentioning, it's not exactly the typical San Antonio team this season that we see. They've rested a few players on the road trip, but nevertheless, well done by Sounders too, as Ramos takes a big kick there from Elizondo. Gets the call.
And just one of those 50-50 balls where whoever gets the ball first, he gets the free kick.
Yeah, pretty painful for both. Well, especially Elizondo kicks the bottom of Ramos's foot. It's still called for the penalty, for the foul, I should say.
Very little padding in these modern football cleats on
Almost
top of the
nothing.
foot.
Very light, but you feel every little
Little
nick.
thing. Tyler Miller waiting to send this ball in. Not entirely sure what the delay is. Now, this could potentially be a consultation.
We're going to see our first.
And here we go. History
our
is
first.
made. Edvin Jurasevich wants to take a look at the board.
He's going to have a look here. You'll notice the screen is right in front of the crowd, so they take a cloth off the screen, turn the screen around, show it to the referee as everybody waits. And we'll see exactly what he's looking at here. I'm not sure.
Well, we know from the categories can only be goals, penalty calls, sending off offenses in cases of mistaken
identity cards.
But there was no card issued. So if he's reviewing this.
I'm as curious to know as you are.
And okay, it's nothing. There you go. History is made. But long term, it is the future of the game, and that is a
learning process.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's just like the old saying goes that the first international soccer match between England and Scotland finished 0-0. So it's a miracle that the game caught on, but in the long term, it's probably for the best.
It may have been a little bit different back then.
The Telegraph assistant referee. Ball lost into touch on the near side. San Antonio will take the throw. It's Ben Noonan.
Perhaps the only thing that comes to mind is Lorenzo Ramos's studs were up. Maybe considering that as a foul. I'm not really sure. Nonetheless, interesting to see. The first time I've ever seen the referee do that motion of the screen.
You see it all the time in rugby. That's the way they ask for the official review.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, it's, you know, we joke, but it is exciting to know that there's now an extra set of eyes, and that thing that has seemed so obvious for so long. It's, why can't they just review it? Well, they can now.
No, it's certainly.
Ulysses settles that ball.
It's been a long time since I've seen a referee stop something and you don't really know what's going on in the field. And at that point, you know, you wasn't exactly sure what he was doing. Something new.
Ramos out the far side for Ulysses. 10 minutes to go. S2 trails by a goal, 3-2 here at Starfire Stadium. Zach Mathers, the penalty conversion hero. Irvin Parra, the penalty earning hero there in the 75th minute. And Irvin Parra just charged into the back of Ibiaga.
Parra's been physical a couple of times here, but Ibiaga just stepping in front of Parra. And he is going to pick up a yellow card.
I'm not really sure what Irvin Parra thought was going to happen there.
And I think just a little bit of pushing back and forth between the two players. Ibiaga knows what he's doing, but not the best move there from Parra.
He was booked.
Just needs to relax a little bit.
He was booked in the loss against Real Monarchs as well. Had time for dissent in that match. And he will have to be cautious. Those yellow cards, they do add up. Headed away from Cochran. Delay foul here as Pekka went in pretty hard.
There's Parra again on the ground. Another warning. That one for Devin Vega this time. So a couple midfielders now for San Antonio with warnings.
Close game in the rain, middle of a congested schedule for both teams. Things are getting a little bit feisty here in these last 10 minutes. Headed down from Nana Sinkham to Riley Grant. Riley Grant tries to chop in across, and the ball sails over the end line. Another corner for S2.
That's a great block, too, by Harivo. Grant was going to whip that across the box. Another big chance here for S2.
Quickly taken by Mathers, soaring to the back post. Rising and winning the header is Ibiaga, who does well to only concede a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, strong and powerful in there from the captain.
Parra trying to kick the ad board back so he has more space. Launches this one in. Head of the way once more, that time by Pekka. Devin Vega on the further clearance. Cesar Elizondo goes down, wins the foul.
It's great work by S2 to close down, but maybe just a few too many hands on Elizondo. Drawn a foul and let San Antonio get out. You see there from Hopiao. Sorry follows up with a little bit of a push.
Long ball over the top. Rogers heads it up. Nana Sinkham heads it away. Pekka comes square to the near side for Noonan. Upper Harivo, he and Grant are doing battle. Noonan back inside for Harivo. Nana Sinkham sends it up the line. Stopped by Maxi Rodriguez. Irvin Parra chopped down by Maxi Rodriguez after he got a touch on the ball. Ray Sari going to appeal for a card. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. And Irvin Parra is not getting up.
I think Rodriguez is probably the only midfielder for San Antonio that did not have a warning. You could just see, he puts his shoulder right into him. And I think we saw one earlier there for Mathers when he put his shoulder through and he picked up a yellow card. So S2 maybe have a little bit of a point.
Another foul, that time conceded by Noonan as he comes through the back of Zach Mathers. Thought about playing it quickly. Mathers now going to set it up. Both center backs coming forward. Short little chop, a lot of tailspin on that ball. Restrepo heads it down. It's Azriel Gonzalez, and Restrepo was fouled. Now he'll drop to the ground. Seemed okay a moment ago. Also down on the ground with him is Irvin Parra, who is having a very rough last 25 minutes of this game.
Yeah, he's been on the ground every other play. Just see Restrepo coming through, catches Parra, and I'm not sure, honestly, Andrew, what the foul could be.
Restrepo goes down in a manner that can only be described as theatrically after the whistle's given.
Parra's gone up for the ball. Restrepo's coming through for the ball. They both have every right to go for it. I don't see Parra didn't lift his arms or anything. Didn't look like he was looking at the ball all the way. He wasn't looking to get in Restrepo's way.
But
just have to see if we can take a look at it again.
Rebound looked quite enticing as it came out to Azriel Gonzalez. Parra will trot off the sideline here. Restrepo is up. Now, that's interesting because technically speaking, if play was stopped to attend to a goalie injury, the player on the field from the other team should not be forced to leave the pitch, if I have my understanding of the rules correctly.
Well, the referee's making Parra go off.
Clock continues to move. Restrepo wants to know exactly which blade of turf to put the ball on. 87th minute here at Starfire Stadium. He sends the ball downfield. Elizondo rises, misses, and fouls Sam Rogers.
Well, probably in for 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time at least.
Tyler Miller to take the free kick. Starting to wave everybody forward. Has to really want to push for that equalizer. High ball from Miller. Harivo settles underneath it, heads it away. Nanasinkum serves one forward. Ball falls down into space. Parra, Ibiaga, Pekka gets a foot to it. Elizondo settles underneath it. Touch is turned over to Sam Rogers. His pass too long, straight to Pekka. Now it's Rafa Castillo. Castillo to the right side for Harivo. Harivo gives chase. Wins a throw-in off of Brian Nanasinkum.
Castillo picks a great position to just play in Harivo. Take the pressure off San Antonio for the moment.
Pekka to Harivo. Harivo into the middle. Elizondo tries to chop it inside for Harivo. It's cut out by Sam Rogers and will sail for a deep throw-in. Ben Noonan surveying his options. Loops one over the top looking for Castillo. Headed away by Sari. And that's Azriel Gonzalez taken down that time. Ryan Rushandel, forgive me, Ben Noonan there on the tackle. Oof. High leg going in there.
Yeah, Noonan just catches him from behind.
89th minute now. S2 trails by 1. Ball chopped up. Cut down by Rodriguez. Chipped over for Harivo. Nanasinkum going to shield that one out the touchline. Thrown back to Miller.
S2 still have time. They need to set themselves up for some quality opportunities. It's going to be very difficult on this San Antonio back line to just lob balls in there. Ibiaga and Rochandel will eat that up all day.
Rochandel stands at 6'3". Ibiaga stands 6'2". Throwing from Grant. Header on by Gonzalez. Ibiaga heads it back to Restrepo. Restrepo tracks it in. We enter the 90th minute. This match has had a little bit of everything. Some good goals, some bad mistakes, and a lot of effort from two teams that are trying to grind out a result here at Starfire Stadium. Irvin Parra settles underneath this ball, tries to chip it to the left side for Gonzalez. 4 minutes of added time, we're being told. Elizondo charges forward, working his way through a couple of defenders, holds onto the ball and commits an offensive foul. And he will be shown a yellow card for his trouble. Take another look there.
All right, he's just got a hold of Nanasinkum's jersey. I think that was a culmination of a couple of fouls that Elizondo had committed. S2, can they create one more opportunity? Can't be something over the top or just directly into the crowd. Have to have a little bit of patience.
Shannon Hopiau on the far sideline picks up that pass from Ulysses. Hopiau coming into the middle. Plays it up. It's Irvin Parra. Parra looking for space for a cross. Sends one in. Azriel Gonzalez goes down. Ball falls to Riley Grant. Cut inside for Ray Sari. Zach Mathers. Sari's tried to dribble through. It's knocked away. Brian Nanasinkum gives chase. Elizondo right there with him. Long throw back to Tyler Miller. Another attempted long ball over the top. Headed away by Noonan. Sari heads it forward. Flick on header from Gonzalez. Riley Grant into the area. Cuts one back on the ground. It's to the feet. And no whistle goes as Irvin Parra cut down. A fair no call in your estimation, Aaron?
Well, just going to see how this one ends up. That tackle from Gonzalez has got his studs up.
Yeah, two-footed challenge.
I can't believe he's got to eat himself a red card.
And slid in with both legs there.
That's a tough debut for Azriel Gonzalez. He looks a little bit stunned almost. Lots to digest here, but let's start with this. Kind of a scissor motion from Gonzalez. His feet are off the ground. You can see he's worried. This is the cross. Grant puts a lot of pace on it. It's right there. Take a look at Parra. Hit from behind by Pekka. I don't know if referee decides it's a no call. I think it's probably the right decision, not a penalty call. Just one of those little bit too far behind him, but that's a tough break for Azriel Gonzalez. The young man, he'll have many more moments here in S2. Much better than that.
Well, he will be suspended for S2's next match on Saturday the 29th at the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Would be eligible to play in S2's next home match, however, when they host Timbers 2 for the second time this season, Friday, May 5th. Last time out, it wound up in a 2-1 victory for S2. Third minute of added time. We're scheduled for 4 here. San Antonio still on top 3-2. Zach Mathers goes up, wins a header and a foul as he rises to get that ball over a much taller Maxi Rodriguez. Two players who are both now slow to get up.
Mathers again caught in the back. Rodriguez called for the foul. Will he pick up a yellow card here as well? He would be the 5th San Antonio player to do so.
I think there's maybe evidence for a foul. I don't know about a card there, but
two players both going up. Just Rodriguez has had a couple of fouls already.
It's one of those symptoms where once you've seen a card for one foul, you start to wonder if you're going to see one for all of them.
Mathers and Parra have a chance to talk this over.
All the height is forward. Riley Grant, Nanasinkum, Sam Rogers, Irvin Parra goes into square off against Ibiaga.
Definitely going to be the last chance here for S2.
Mathers towards net. Restrepo knocks it down and collects the rebound. 10 seconds remaining of the 4 added on. Restrepo going to run to his right. Send the ball away. Edvin Jurasevich still letting things continue.
Maybe have a couple more seconds from the red card and a couple of fouls.
High kick there from Grant. Harivo coming over to Riley Grant now. Rafa Castillo appealing for calm. As a kick rose high and looks like it might have caught Cesar Elizondo.
That might be just a little bit of dramatics from Elizondo. Yeah, just caught the bottom of his chin with this shin, so maybe a little bit, to be fair.
So a free kick for San Antonio. We're in the 95th minute, and that is the last touch of the game as the ball is put in play by Ben Noonan. S2 fights hard, almost battles all the way back, but cannot complete the comeback, and they fall at home to San Antonio FC by a score of 3-2. San Antonio FC still perfect. 5 wins and a draw through 6 matches this season. Aaron, your thoughts?
Andrew, it was a game full of dramatics. 2 goals early on for San Antonio. Sounders 2, what a comeback in the second half. 2 goals in. But we'll go over the highlights here in a minute. We'll start with those goals from Vega, or excuse me, from Sounders 2. Mathers, and of course Rogers with the opener. But we'll see those here in a minute. But what a run! Sam Rogers opening up that scoring, getting things going right away. Here we go. Nana Sinkum, just that ball over the top. Rogers with the chance to have it drop to his feet, and it's a fantastic finish, and that's 2-1 right there. And that was early on, still plenty of time in the game. What a finish that was by Sam Rogers.
And then, after a corner kick coming back the other way, that ball tackled away by Pekka. You can see it there. And just, Aaron, Devin Vega, tell me more.
And this was just a bit unfortunate for S2, kind of characteristic of the way some of these games have gone. At least you think back on Saturday against the Real Monarchs, but what a finish by Vega. Gets around Sari very, very well, and it was all broken up by Pekka with that experience in the midfield. Then this, Para goes down, penalty kick for Sounders 2, right back on the board. Great finish from Mathers, puts it at 3-2. And still time for S2 to get back into the game. A little pushing and shoving to get the ball, but that was it. Unfortunate at the end there for Ezreal Gonzalez to pick up that red card for the young man, but great effort in the second half for Sounders 2. Again, the final thing, just cleaning things up a little bit, taking more opportunities when you have them. Sounders 2 are building, and they'll look to get something later on this week.
That's going to do it for us here from Starfire Stadium. Your final score, San Antonio FC 3, Seattle Sounders FC 2. For all of us here, including Bootstrappers Production and Aaron Hines, and I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.